move, this could end very poorly for that rider. It is extremely dangerous, even though these speeds under 100 miles an hour. But take a look at that bike, Bobby. It's one of those off-roads, so maybe this person's going to get off the freeway here sooner or later. Right now, California Highway Patrol are the ones with tasked with taking that rider into custody. You know what? We never picked up the original one, Bobby. You might want to work with our assignment desk. I'm sure they have all that information. They didn't pass it along to us. We were basically trying to get the SkyFOX in position where we could catch up to this or have it come to us as we did in this case. Right now, though, northbound 110 freeway, getting very close to the 10. He's made radical changes in the past. When he was on the 405, he made a hard whack basically from the number 1 lane all the way over to the right to get onto the 110. Right now, though, kind of holding that number 2 lane, the 10 freeway coming up quickly. We always wonder where are these guys going. We never really know. In this case, California Highway Patrol on their tail, they're working to pick up a helicopter to help them keep an eye on it from the air. Right now, Bobby, the only helicopter following it is SkyFOX at this moment. We're going to keep an eye on it for sure. I know they made a call asking for sheriffs. The sheriffs are usually the ones that come in and help them out, but in this case, LAPD much closer, so they may be over here to come and help them out as well. If he stays on the freeway, we've seen this in the past, California Highway Patrol, they're going to stay behind him as long as they can. And, his high speeds, 80 miles an hour, that's enough to get you pulled over even on an LA freeway. And this motorcycle, that's about where it's maxing out at. The problem is that they can't really do anything to bring it to a stop. Spike strips on a motorcycle, that would be dangerous for the rider as well as any of the officers trying to deploy it. You can't do the pit maneuver, even though you probably wonder what that law enforcement on that lead motorcycle probably could get close enough to just grab the guy, but that's not going to be a safe way to bring this to an end. So probably very frustrating down there for law enforcement right now. Lights and sirens, we're making our way through the downtown area as we speak. The next freeway is going to be the 101 and then the 5. It looks like he's picking up those center lanes. This might be because of traffic, or it might be because he's thinking about getting onto the 101. We understand it. I got to be clear. I believe it started out in the East LA area, made its way down towards Long Beach and came back. If that's the case, we might be seeing a right turn here as he makes his way onto the 101, which it looks like it's happening right now. Yes. Definitely. Those officers are trained, though. That's the one thing that we always, when we watch these pursuits, you have to realize law enforcement, they train their guys and women. When I say guys, I'm talking about all the law enforcement. They train them, and they train them a lot, and they have to qualify, much like with their weapons. They are actually out there on the tracks. They learn some tricks from high-speed driving professionals. And, we watch these people running from law enforcement. I would venture to say they don't have a lot of that personal training. So the law enforcement, they know what they're dealing with. I'm just looking out the window, Bobby, telling you the sheriff's helicopter now joining this chase, probably going to help the California Highway Patrol keep an eye on where this is going. I can tell you we made that transition onto the 101 freeway. We're making our way northbound on the 101 right now. California Highway Patrol, this is going to be a difficult one. That bike, even if it didn't have a full tank of gas, they do get a little bit better gas mileage than vehicles. So this could go for some some time. And also, we pointed out, that is more of an off-road than on-road, or can be utilized as both. Looks like we're getting off the freeway there. Echo Park area, it's going to get tight. Anybody that lives down out in this area knows these streets very tight, and good for the motorcycle maybe, but cars, they're there too, and when you start sharing those lanes, people might get panicked. Something could happen. Looks like making a hard turn right there, making his way wrong way, but he's definitely going up into a neighborhood here in the Echo Park area. Yeah, that could definitely be part of it as well. It does seem like he has a destination in mind. Who knows, really? But definitely he's making his way through these neighborhoods out here northbound. It is a holiday, so there is less traffic out there. I believe that's coming up on the Sunset. And there is, look at that, all that traffic. That lead motorcycle officer, you just got to, I wish we could talk to him afterwards and just get a couple of his thoughts. You are so close to that suspect, and just not able to bring this thing to an end safely. He made his way on Sunset just there for a moment or two. Now we're on another street up here. It looks like we're still heading basically into the hills of Echo Park. So we'll keep an eye on it. But again, Bobby, this bike could get into, maybe over at the Parks area. If we make our way over to the Griffith Park area, he could get onto those trails if he wanted to. Not to say that the California Highway Patrol bike can't, but I'm telling you, that little motorcycle that the suspect is on, going to handle a lot better in those situations. Right now, picking up a little bit of speed right here, Elysian Park, and we're very close to Dodger Stadium. There's no game right now, but a lot of open area, lots of places for this guy to hide. California Highway Patrol, so difficult, so frustrating. Just want to bring this to an end, but try to have to do it safely. Whoa! Yeah, definitely got a little wobbly there for sure. And what you were trying to talk about, I believe, is the type of tires. Those bikes usually have some sort of off-road tires, some sort of knobbies on them. It is kind of interesting that he's staying on the roadways out here. Sunset Boulevard is definitely the street that he's choosing right now. Was on it earlier for a little bit, made his way through there, and now back onto Sunset, making our way westbound. Very, very little traffic. That's the huge plus out here. But you saw it. And this is part of it as well. We talk about it in the past. Law enforcement doesn't want to see that suspect injured. They don't want to have any of those any issues with them making a turn now, going back up into the hillside out here. So this is one of the things that they're concerned about. And how do you keep a suspect safe? Well, you get up close to him. You got your lights and sirens. It's going to keep the public away. But when you're on a motorcycle, you saw it right there. Something in the roadway, maybe a little sand, maybe a little oil, and that rear end got very wobbly. So, but he recovered very quickly, and it doesn't seem like the speed slowed down at all. A little bit of a tree-covered roads out here as we're making our way, establishing into the Echo Park neighborhoods. We just got to wonder, does this guy have a destination, or is he just making opportunity? Oh, I see a turn, let me make a right, make me a left. As long as he stays off of those majors and we don't see him running a lot of stop signs, I'm just feeling a little better about watching this. But right now, though, that first motorcycle, you know that guy's adrenaline must be pumping. They're just waiting for that bike to come to a stop and for them to take that driver into custody. Hopefully, we all very much on this page. We don't want to see any kind of collision. We don't want to see an accident, and we don't want to see that motorcycle rider go down on some sort of hard turn, as it would be, like we almost saw right there. Working our way into more up into the hills up here. That's the best way to describe it. The streets are going to get a little bit tighter. Of course, it's a motorcycle, but you still got to remember, cars might be driving, kids might be playing, a dog might run out into the roadway. We don't want to see any of that. We just want to see this guy go into custody, and law enforcement with saying no injuries, nobody got hurt. Here we go. There we go, Bobby. There you go. We're in the Elysian Park area. Yeah, definitely Elysian Park, making our way actually on into the Elysian Park area. I'm trying to look out the window to just kind of get a better sense of where he is exactly. This is paved, so these are probably fire roads, but that bike could make its way onto like paths, like bike paths, running paths, all those types of things. But that motorcycle, that California Highway Patrol officer, he is determined to be there when this thing comes to an end, and he's been right behind him and keeping up with that. Justin working to keep those shots even though there's trees right there. And this adds another layer of, you know, what is going on right now. You've got these people out there hiking, you've got folks out there running, and yeah, he's like completely off-road, which is a huge plus. And, you know, the helicopter, I'm trying to see if that sheriff's ship is staying with us, but I don't actually see him. So these officers, they're the ones that are going to be tasked with taking this suspect into custody. One of the motorcycle officers stopped completely, and it looks like he's getting his way back onto the major road out there, and this is going to be Stadium Way, Academy Way, and, you know, basically heading out of this area. Hopefully California Highway Patrol is keeping an eye on what's going on, where they are exactly. And I'm working with, we have a new pilot today as well, and this is a good inaugural flight for him. But it definitely looks like one of the cruisers picking it up right now, staying with that motorcycle. Didn't lose him, but it was something to see as he made his way through those paths out there in the Elysian Park area. Well, that's right. But, you know, when you get up on the Sunset, you can see it right there, a little bit more traffic. It's going to be much more difficult for that California cruiser. That's, you know what, that's not even an Expedition. That looks like a Suburban or a Tahoe. That's a full-size vehicle keeping up with him. You know, and also the one thing you see right there is you're kind of trading it off. You know, that is an off-road motorcycle. It probably would do better on those dirt roads or hills as it would be not so fast on the roadway. And that was one of the reasons why this big cruiser can keep up with him. Made a hard turn right there. Now it looks like we're heading south over towards the Echo Park area. Some more turns that that CHP officer, he has got to be careful. He has got to keep, follow the rules as it would be. And now making his way into an alleyway, not quite enough to keep that that cruiser at bay. And he's popping out there. I believe that's going to be out on back onto Sunset. Is that Sunset again, or is still in the Echo Park area? And but the helicopter, the sheriff's ship, still over it. He's low. He's giving the calls out, giving the idea to LAPD, who is not technically chasing it. But, believe me, those officers down there, they've got one ear on this. They're doing their jobs, I'm sure, but they've got one ear on this. And if this does come to an end out here in the Echo Park area, LAPD's presence will be seen. I can almost guarantee it. California Highway Patrol, those the big Tahoe, doing what they can to keep up. It's going to come up to an intersection. We're going to keep listening to see which way it goes on Sunset, but it looks like we're going to be heading eastbound on Sunset. There you go, underneath Glendale. So this pursuit continues, and hopefully those motorcycles can re-engage and they can have that opportunity to stay with that rider. There you go. Looks like that's exactly what's happening, and they're making the little turn there, making their way onto Glendale. This guy's getting a little tricky. He's got a little distance on those California Highway Patrol, but I can hear the helicopter calling it out as well. Hopefully it basically just did a roundabout, but you can see that motorcycle, Bobby, that California Highway Patrol bike back in the game. So, yes. Yeah, a little hard turn right there. We're getting very close to the 101 freeway again. I'm wondering if that's what the driver's plan is, maybe to get back onto it. This part of looks like we're going back away from it again. So we're staying actually right by the park. So if you know anybody that's actually down there at the park today, you just give them heads up. That's what's going on. All that helicopter noise, all those sirens. It's an actual pursuit around the actual park itself. But yeah, that motorcycle, Bobby, that's going to be the breaking point. As long as the California Highway Patrol have one of their motor officers right behind them like that, this guy is going to be able to stay with them, again, following the rules, being safe, but it's going to be much more effective than that big Tahoe. One of the reasons, too, they don't want to just run into an alleyway like that. Like you said, safety for any of the pedestrians, but they also don't want to get stuck in there somehow or have to back up. So they're basically, trying to keep a couple of steps ahead of this rider on the motorcycle back onto Sunset. This really bothers me every time we get back up here. If he starts running red lights like we've seen him, and there's a lot more traffic on Sunset, even though it is a holiday today. Yeah. Yep, and he had that opportunity. I was right with you, Bobby. I was thinking maybe he was going to make his way back up into the Elysian Park area. He hasn't. Actually, he's turning away from it. Now we're going to be westbound again. There's some major intersection action. This is a steep downhill. Doesn't really show, but believe me, that's a steep downhill right there. Coming up on an intersection, and he's making a turn. He didn't go through it. That's a huge plus. You just don't know what these guys are thinking. A lot of times, I don't even really think they have the idea that they can get away. It's just the fact that I'm just going to run until I'm caught type of mentality. The problem is when you're on a motorcycle like that, somebody just might be backing out or doing what he's supposed to do, and this rider collides with them, and you just don't want to see anything like that. The lights and sirens, I'm sure, are very helpful to anybody down there on the ground. That motorcycle officer really getting a workout today. You know, a lot of folks say, you know, he's riding a motorcycle, it's relaxing. You know, I can kind of have a feeling that this guy not relaxing, and there we go, back kind of in that same spot. Isn't this, Bobby? This looks like the exact same spot where we were earlier. Yeah, and yeah. There's a car coming the other way. Oh, no, Bobby, I didn't want to cut you off there, but it looks like he got off the roadway because there's an actual vehicle coming up the other direction. Once again, he's out off the roads, making his own roads as it would be, but the California Highway Patrol this time staying with him down there. As I'm looking out the window, Justin doing an amazing job keeping it in on that camera lens, at the end of that camera lens, but definitely working his way south, looking like he's trying to make his way back down to Sunset. The helicopter down low right at this moment, as I understand it, kind of looking for him. He's somewhere underneath the trees. I got eyes on the bike, Justin. It looks like he's making his way closer. He went left. Somebody's telling us right now he went left on our camera. Okay, there he is. So if you get a little bit wider, he's paralleling Sunset, heading south on that road that you got right there. Just tilt up a little bit. Tilt up a little bit. Right by the. Yes, stay right there. Right there. You got the officers. You got the motorcyclist. Push in. He's going over to where the bathroom is. Tilt down. Right. Stay right there. There they go. They're going right by there, and he's making his way out to the. He saw the officers in the parking area, and it looks like he's making his way northbound. This is, you know, it is kind of, there he is. Look, it is kind of neat to watch. There's no doubt about it, but very, very dangerous. You guys just, I mean, I'm sure the folks at home have that idea as well. Back onto the roadway, California Highway Patrol right behind him. And what I was going to say is the suspect's motorcycle, light, made for that kind of riding. The officer's motorcycle, a lot heavier, and believe me, those guys are getting a serious workout. He might actually be handing it off right now to another officer because of that serious workout they've been getting. To be able to handle that bike on the off-road area, slipping, sliding, extremely taxing to the rider. So it looks like they swapped out, but now you still have another California Highway Patrol motor officer behind him. We're back in the Echo Park neighborhood, and you can see right there, thank goodness not a lot of traffic, but this motorcyclist really just keeping the law a hand's or an arm's distance away from him. Wrong side of the road, don't want to see that, but it looks like we're back out onto the pavement, and this rider, he's free at the moment. Hopefully he doesn't injure himself or anybody else. Oh, definitely, and it was. Those bikes weigh a lot as well, and you got to put a lot of effort into keeping those straight. I can tell you, I probably would have dumped it twice. But at any rate, here we go. Now we're northbound on Glendale. We'd seen him going south on Glendale a couple of times, so this definitely is an area that he seems to be familiar with. And there's always anybody that drives on Glendale Boulevard will tell you, especially in this area, there's always traffic here. They need to time those lights. That's for a different story. Making another turn right there, getting off of Glendale, making his way now into the Silver Lake area. Same type of deal. Silver Lake, looks like he's kind of knows where he's going right there. But Silver Lake, same type of deal as Echo Park, an older community, smaller streets, tighter roads, and again, not super high speeds. It really seems like that bike's starting to slow down. Maybe that rider getting tired as well. It looks like we just made a big circle getting our way back onto Glendale Boulevard into that traffic that we just mentioned and just kind of weaving around down there. But the bikes, the motorcycles, the cops, or the law enforcement, California Highway Patrol, they've got that same ability, maybe not quite that agility to get through those tight spots. But, Bobby, you also got more officers in the area, and you also have a helicopter above. So if he does get some distance right now, them losing him seems pretty remote at best. Yep. Yep. Back on the Sunset. Yeah. And, you know, it's actually a beautiful area. When you get into those neighborhoods out there, it really makes you proud to be an Angelino. This guy now back on the Sunset Boulevard, kind of just, like I said, not really moving at incredibly fast speeds, but just enough to keep law enforcement at bay. He does kind of open it up when he sees opportunity, so this rider's still trying to get away as it would be. That helicopter above him is going to keep calling out those locations. And like you said, Bobby, they saw that black and white making their way the opposite direction. These are just going to be law enforcement in the area, staying close by, just to keep an eye on what's going on. Not sure exactly the name of this street. Actually, it's Rampart. I see it right there. Thank you, Justin, for pointing that out. You know, this is one of the ones that will take you back onto the 101 if he stays on it. And if he does, that's going to be kind of a clue for me, like, hey, wait a minute, this guy might really be from this neighborhood, just looking for a spot to maybe, you know, hide the motorcycle, get off the motorcycle, and make a run for it. Making that turn right there, looking out the window, this will give him an opportunity to get onto the 101 freeway again. But we'll just keep an eye on it, see where he goes. Right now, though, you know, like you said, the high speeds or the lower speeds are a huge benefit. But still, how do you stop a motorcycle? You know, you can't really block them in. You can't pit them. You can't look. Well, now we're in a, looks like we're in a neighborhood, an address, and it looks like this is where it's going to come to an end, Bobby. Just let's watch and see. Yep. Yep. Yep, just stops. Just officers helping the gentleman to comply right there. But, you know, this is one of those things. He just made that decision. You know what, all right, I'm done. And law enforcement, well, you know, we're all people, and they've you know, been working that motorcycle, working to keep the public safe, probably a lot of adrenaline, but now putting the cuffs on that suspect. Why, what? For just speed? It is just so weird to see sometimes, but thank goodness nobody was hurt. And now that motorcycle stopped out here in this Echo Park neighborhood, Silver Lake neighborhood. Sweet. Nobody hurt. That's what I like to hear and see. So this is your first day news? Excellent, man. Yeah. And Justin, honestly, I mean, I know you don't have any glare on your monitor, but when he was going through those trees down there, dude, amazing. Thank God. Yeah, I left the motorcycle for you. Yeah, actually, he was my Uber Eats guy. Could you check the back? Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe we can. They'll probably just put him in a car. Oh yeah, it's probably another. Where is it? Is it out? It's out. Oh yeah, it's white smoke at the bottom.